5 schools were unable to open on the regular schedule. They were McGahey, Cunningham, Bonham, Ben Milam, and McNeil Junior High. The latter two, Ben Milam and McNeil, will not open for quite some time.
These are some things we've got to be looking at, but as I'm sure you know that McNeil won't be replaced next fall. If it's replaced a year from next fall, we'll be fortunate.
The morning after Terrible Tuesday, school officials were faced with having to make quick decisions. 2 days afterwards, School Superintendent Dr. Lee Williamson called a press conference to inform the media of information concerning the continued operation of schools.
Teachers and all other staff members of Ryder and McNeil are asked to report to Ryder at 8 o'clock Monday to plan programming. Teachers and all other staff members of Cunningham and Milam are asked to report to Cunningham at 8 o'clock Monday morning for planning. Ryder students who go to Kerrigan or Harrell Vocational Technical Center for a half day should plan to attend class at that center on Monday. Those who wish to attend school in the district where they are now living may do so simply by going to the school and telling the principal where they have been attending, and the two principals then will pursue the details and work this out to the least convenience of the families involved.
It meant that things would be chaotic for a while. Some teachers and students would have to relocate, schedules would be changed, and administrators would have to share facilities.
It may be that you'll find that some of the classrooms will become crowded because of relocation of some of the children. Some teachers may have to be relocated. We may have a temporary shortage of textbooks and other teaching materials. As a matter of fact, I would predict that we will.
One school suffered from more than just Mother Nature's high winds. Ryder High School, where students from both Ryder and McNeil had been attending, had to close the day after it opened because rainy weather found a resting spot inside the building. Administrators witnessed the problem the first day school was back in session, but continued to hold classes in hopes that the problem would dissolve itself. But the leaks continued, and students were dismissed until a temporary roof could be constructed.
We're not going to have to make these days up as far as going into June. Our teachers will report for work day tomorrow, Thursday, and also Friday at 8 o'clock, and they'll be doing some planning and work that they need to do. Our students will not report until Monday morning at a regular schedule, and also McNeil Junior High will fall in that category.
Damages to all school facilities have been estimated to total between $7 to $8 million, and hundreds of students have been displaced, meaning that they are now attending a different school. What it took years to build was destroyed in a matter of minutes. But the Wichita Falls school officials have proven that where there's a will, they will make a way for our adults of tomorrow to continue their education.
Following the April 10th tornado in our city, all that was left for residents and friends to do was to pick up the pieces. Sam Armstrong reports the relief process that was as amazing as the tornado that hit the city.
Just minutes after the terrible Tuesday tornado hit Wichita Falls, the disaster relief effort began. The response by Wichitans was stronger than any other volunteer campaign ever assembled. Neighbors began searching through the rubble for neighbors, while others went to local hospitals to transport the injured and also to help those being brought in by other non-affected individuals. Volunteers met with law enforcement officials to search for trapped victims in homes and businesses, and in Sykes Center, where it wasn't known how many could be rescued, a record of volunteers entering the mall was kept, just in case they became terrible Tuesday victims as well. One of those individuals at the Sykes Center area was Captain Harvey Harwell of the Salvation Army.
Sykes Center had been hit, so we immediately changed our route from Vernon and went over to Sac Center. We were there just minutes after Sac Center had gone. I suppose the tornado was still on the ground and going on past when we were behind it, and we got there just minutes after it hit. And since we had our canteen already set up, and the fellows that was with me, I'm an EMT, emergency medical technician, and so one of the fellows that was on the ambulance knew that, and so he asked about help, and so the two of us began to get people out from under the rubble and bandage the injured ones, while our other fellows set up the canteen or set up the van and began to get ready to have ice water and cold drinks and sandwiches, things to help those who were helping the people out there.
Across town, away from the disaster area, the local office of the American Red Cross was already crowded with those individuals wanting to help.
Development's gone, back through Psych Center is gone, the apartment's on the other side, and then it starts going northeast. And it's almost total until you get out to Bird Seafood House. So down in that area, anywhere around the Tiffany Apartments, French Quarter, Psych Center, anywhere in that area, we can direct them to shelters.
For those folks that need someplace to stay, the First Baptist Church will be open this evening for shelter and will be available there to have people stay tonight. We will be able to feed them something. I'm not sure what yet. We have a possibility of one of the schools or two of the schools. I can't identify the schools at this time. Please be assured that the Red Cross is doing everything you can. As you can see here, we're without power too, and we're trying to do what we can to get things moving. The blood supply is good. We have support from that from all over the country. I would advise people to stay calm. Those people that can help right now, we're getting quite a few people to come in, and we appreciate them very much. I want to make a plea to our Red Cross people that were not affected to please make themselves available. Their specific training is necessary and needed.
The morning after, the situation at the Red Cross and the Salvation Army continued to be busy. Volunteers continued to pour in. Red Cross vans roamed the streets with food and drink for those searching through their property. More shelters were set up for the homeless to stay and to eat and to find a little comfort after the storm. In addition, the Red Cross helped at the two command posts with volunteers and medical assistance. Salvation Army began receiving gifts from throughout the country, and these were distributed to those in need. Almost 1/5 of the Wichita Falls population. Clothes, bedding, and more food was available through Salvation Army assistance. The April 10th tornado affected both civilian and military people. In response to the disaster, more than 1,000 volunteer workers from Shepherd Air Force Base were brought in to assist in a number of ways, including property protection, traffic control, transportation, loading and unloading relief items, and medical assistance. The medical attention ranged from giving tetanus shots at the command post to taking in injured patients at the Shepherd Regional Hospital and aiding the staffs at the two city hospitals. In this time of need, the Texas National Guard, the Department of Public Safety, U.S. Army help from Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and the Navy and Marines were also on hand for assistance. The help that came into the city was almost as unbelievable as the tornado itself. Then aid from throughout the country poured in.
I don't know, memories from our own tornado kind of started coming into focus, and we just decided we ought to try to do something. If it wasn't, but just raise a single can and clothing from people, they could send it in, and it adds up, and we could help out a little. Before it was all over with, though, I can tell you, it just got out of hand. Just completely out of hand.
It started off the first day, and it started off about 6:20 that morning, and we were on the air, and people started trickling in stuff, and it just snowballed into what we got right here.
People were coming in with material by the armloads. One guy called up and said, hey, I'll donate a truck to get it down there, if you can get it. So from there on, it really did start snowballing.
But the hub city was not the only community to respond. Cars, vans, trucks, and planes from San Antonio, Abilene, San Angelo, Dallas, Fort Worth, and almost every city in Texas arrived with much of the needed materials to help put the city that Faith built